Aloha, Honolulu! Data here with episode 38 of the Honolulu Huskies Custom Fantasy Draft Franchise Mode, here in the 2032 offseason, year number 14 we are going into. This franchise mode is going deeper than I thought it would, just in terms of pure simming, but boys, 4 straight Stanley Cups, including a big one last episode, 7 consecutive President's Trophies. What a journey it was last episode. We got Kyle Wood his 4th cup before he retired. We had a big surprise in our Conn Smythe Trophy winner as Cole Perfetti won it, our 3rd line center. Our 4 straight cups have gone Rantanen, Anderson, Silver, and Perfetti, so it was really great to see him win that. We had a 59 win season, 25 points for Perfetti. We had a great Stanley Cup run, but there are many questions moving into this offseason, as well as the series as a whole, as how long we're going to do this. A couple comments saying at least 2 more seasons, keep going for a couple seasons. So at least for now, we are moving ahead, full steam ahead, as we will continue to try to be the dominant franchise that we have become, trying to stay under the cap with some fantastic contracts. As we know, Skylar Pelech making $9 million, Wong making $5 million, Hughes making $7.3 million, and so forth. Quinn Shannon had a great season, making $5.9 million. In this episode, I believe Carson Barker is the one to move. We talked last episode about what kind of changes are we going to see. Pitten's contract. I love Pitten's contract. And the big ones that everyone seems to agree on are that Barker is going to go. On defense, Jesus Sawchuk is going to go. Here he is. Still has a bit of potential in him, so try to trade him for his value. And then for the goalies, as much as we love him, I think Steven Beck is the one to go. Just looking at over the comments that came in the last episode, MVL12K7, trade Barker, Sawchuk, and Beck, like we just said. Promote Dostal to the NHL, retool the AHL pipeline. He said Dostal, but I think he forgot about Almquist here. We have Magnus Almquist, so he'll be our backup goalie next season. Guy Supre hopefully will be our minor league starter, but if he grows a lot, he's going to push for NHL backup. So we're going to see Bentley is a monster. Steven Beck, I love Steven Beck, but I can't keep 2 elite goalies. One of them's 2 years older, 5 overall higher. We're going to see what happens, but for now, I think Beck is the one to move. I don't think I'm going to trade him yet. He's an RFA, so I could just qualify him. But at least for the draft, we were saying about the possibility of moving up. Since we have a solid pick, I believe, at 9th overall, we could use that and something else to move into the top 5, perhaps to get Sheldon Marchand, however you want to pronounce that. I don't know if he's French or not. He's a medium elite sniper, so I think that could be someone that we want to go for, and we have the pieces to get it done. But what an emotional episode in the last one. People retiring. Foo Cards 88 pours one out for my homies John Gibson and Kyle Wood. The statue is being built as we speak over the offseason. It'll be ready to go for next year. Also, Reese Garut left me a great comment, which included a request to see Kailer Yamamoto's stats. So I'm in the future now. As you see in the top right, I'm in September, but I'm just coming back to quickly show this because I forgot to look at the beginning of the video. Yamamoto is now 33 years old, 83 overall. Not sure if he just signed this contract. Actually, I would assume that he did. 4 years, $6.68 million. Quite a contract for him. He is a playmaker, 5-star puck skills, an original Honolulu Husky. And is this his first year with Winnipeg? Yeah, it will be. So we traded him to the New York Islanders, and I think in the deal that we got, either the one that we got Eli Tolvanen in, or the one where we picked up Trevor Wong, I think it was the Tolvanen deal, had some really good seasons. He put up 81 points, 87 points, 74, 83, so Yamamoto is a great playmaker, especially these years we got 30 goals, 28 goals. It's tough because we gave him a lot of great opportunities, and he scored 51 points, but he never, then 44, 39, he really went downhill, and he never really worked out for us. But Yamamoto having a great career, especially the last few seasons, putting up between 74 and 87 points, and then 4 of his last 5 seasons, 60 plus in each one. But either way, Yamamoto, he is making bank. But for now, we're heading into the draft, 2032. Let's get it on. Does any of these teams want to trade their picks? 6th overall pick wants to be traded. I really want to be going for the 5th overall pick, not quite the 6th, because I don't think our guy, we're picking 10th. I don't think our guy's still going to be there. Anyways, we can simulate at least the 1st overall pick to the Rangers, 82 overall medium elite center, Johnny Green. That's a pretty cool name. Playmaker. with 88 passing, great stats as well. Those are very nice. So a very nice first-line center for the future of the New York Rangers. Detroit gets Hartman, medium elite Todd Hartman, 80 overall. Great stats for him as well. A two-way forward. The third overall pick to the Kings is Joey Justin Luongo, another great centerman. Great centerman here at the beginning of this draft. And Josefson, medium elite. So all these guys could be first overall centermen, but they all go in the top 4. So now the pick at Vegas for 5th overall is Marchand, whatever. We'll call him just Big Sheldon Marchand. I'll go French. I think we can settle on that. So I'm going to try and trade for Vegas's 5th overall pick here. I don't want to make them too strong since they are a rival, but I'm willing to pay up. I'll give them the 10th overall pick. I'm not sure what they're interested in. Maybe Jesus Sawchuk, since he's not really going to grow. If I gave them Barker, I know that he would grow, or he would probably do well and come back to bite me, but I don't think Jesus Sawchuk is going to grow pretty much at all. If I could get some rookie skaters for the AHL pipeline, that would also be nice to try and retool down there, as that comment said. Let's try and get... there's no one really that young who's good. There's a good defenseman here, but for forwards, not really anybody on Vegas. Maybe I could get another draft pick from them. Maybe I could get a third... let's just try 3rd, 4th, 5th to see what happens. What do you say to this, Vegas? Trade rejected. Take out the 4th. Still trade rejected, not there whatsoever. So, you know what, I'll just take out the prospect. I can draft more defensemen. I'll just try and get some picks back. So, I don't know how close this is, so we always want to overshoot it a little bit so we don't lose out. Trade accepted. Fantastic. If I just went for a 3rd and a 4th, I would have said yes, for sure. But now I get 2 3rds and 2 4ths. So Jesus Sawchuk off to the Vegas Golden Knights. You never worked out. I lost a lot of trade value on you, but thank you very much for getting me this trade. And now I can move up to the 5th overall pick and select from the Moose Jaw Warriors of the WHL. Sets his NHL ready, medium elite, magic hands, goal scoring ability, Sheldon Marchand. Welcome to Honolulu. Whoa, 81 overall medium elite sniper. Look at that. 5-star shooting. That's exactly what you need in this game, boys. You need people who have 5-star shooting and just score goals like monsters. Put them with great playmakers and you are flying. Perfect. That is what we love to see. We pick again all the way at the end of the first round. I don't think there's anyone that I'd really trade up for. I really have the value. I could trade up for I could even get this next pick from Pittsburgh with Barker and the 31st overall pick or something. Pascal Bellemare. I don't really need a left wing two-way forward. Eric Legwand. Maybe I get a defenseman for the system. Any good offensive defensemen? It's all defensive defensemen in the future. Not many two-way Ds, not many OFDs, just a lot of DFDs. Sniper, playmaker, Jesper Petterstrom. Reminds me of Jesper Helmstrom. If you watch the Anaheim Ducks franchise mode. There is Oleg Kaigorodov here, defensive defenseman, similar to Marc-Edouard Vlasic, who is NHL ready. NHL ready is a big selling point here. Eric Legwand is 3 years away. Kenneth Conroy is also 3 years away, but Kaigorodov here is NHL ready. Scouts have him ranked 12th. Conroy is also 18. Legwand's also 18. 6'5", 202. 6'1", 195. 6'1", 195. Legwand looks most tempting, I'd say, but he's still 3 years away. Actually, he might be a two-way D with great puck skills like that. 6 goals, 42 assists. 3 years away, huh? Maybe I could go for him. Let's sim these next couple picks, and then we'll see what we're looking like. So Pittsburgh takes Gagné, medium top 6 grinder, 73 overall, and the Canadiens take Bellemare, the Frenchman, 65 overall, medium top 6 forward. The fans must have been jumping up and down when they drafted him at the Bell Center. Legwand, do I trade up for him? Our scouts have him ranked 7th. Central Scouting says 8-9 area. Similar to no one. 3 years away. Not good foot speed. Bah, who really cares about that? Good stats for 6'5", 48 points in 68 games in a C- competition. Maybe he's a two-way D. Because I'm tempted by Kaigorodov as well. But he's definitely not. Well, 6 goals, 9 assists in an A+ league. 15 points as a defensive defenseman in an A+ league. That's actually nothing to sneeze at. Oh boy, I need to look at my my depth here. Sorting by overall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the NHL next season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the AHL. No one really good in the AHL in the future, aside from maybe Gregoire and Lane Quick. But aside from that, we don't really have great defensive prospects. So I definitely want to get someone. But do I get someone who's more NHL ready or 3 years away? That's the thing. I don't think I want someone who's really NHL ready, because right now I'm set in the NHL. So you know what? Let's do it. I'm gonna try and go for the New Jersey pick here. Trade Barker to the Eastern Conference. I'm really short on time here, but at least let me see if I can get it done. Barker has a fair amount of trade value. I don't think it would go through 1-for-1. Maybe it would. Let me try Barker with the first and a little something else. I'm surprised. New Jersey, we beat them in the Cup Finals just a few years ago, and now here they are as a garbage team. 2 fourths and a fifth, trade rejected. Let me just try the fourth, still trade rejected. So I don't think they would even do this straight up. No, they wouldn't. Okay. So I'll throw in the 31st overall pick. I have a good amount of picks this year. Let me see if I can get a third next year and like a second the year after that, maybe. Because what kind of picks do I have next season? I have a lot of picks right now. Okay, let me just try and do that. What do you say, New Jersey? Trade rejected. Just the third, maybe? Still rejected, huh? I'd have to give the 31st overall pick and Barker for the 8th overall pick. That's pushing it a bit. I don't think I want to pay that much. So I'll probably pass on this deal, actually, in the end. Just the 7th is my final offer. I'm not going to do it straight up. Rejected, too far off. Okay. So that didn't work out. New Jersey wants their pick. Understandably why. They'll go ahead and take leg one. Medium top 4D. 66 overall. 76 passing by. He's nothing great right now. He's a project, and he would be good down the road. Just it wouldn't really work out at this moment, I suppose. So Mazzaros, oh, that's a great pick for the Oilers. Jan Mazzaros, 4.5-star shooting, 79 overall, medium top 6. Mercier there goes to the Kings. I believe Kaigorodov is up next. No, he's still a couple picks away, so I still could wait a bit more if I'm trying to go for him. Keith Conroy, medium top 4D, 64 overall. And then the Panthers go ahead and take Simon, high top 9. Yikes. So Vegas has a lot of picks here. I'm trying to trade for their 14th overall pick now from Chicago after I just traded for the 5th overall pick. I don't want to trade Barker, though, to Vegas. He's going to come back to bite me. That's what I'm worried about. What can I give you here? You want Zetterberg? I don't know. Ennis? Korea? Cyrus Korea? I love Cyrus Korea, but if you... Actually, maybe I'll take out Cyrus Korea and put Rammer. I don't know. Would this tempt you? This is a pretty good deal, because I wouldn't mind getting rid of all three of these guys. Zetterberg hasn't really grown for me. He's 23 years old, 77 overall. He's just going to be a San Diego guy for the rest of his career. So it wouldn't be a bad time to trade him. All right. I almost feel guilty saying yes to this. Okay. Thank you, Vegas. 3 guys who were never going to make my team. And I get to pick at 14th. All right. Thank you very much. Oleg Kaigorodov from Russia. 6 goals, 9 assists in an A+ competition, similar to Vasek. He's ready to go in the NHL, which means he's probably high 70 overall, which means he'll be first pair in the AHL. Welcome to Honolulu. 80 overall? 80 overall? 14th overall pick? What in the world? 3.5-star defense, 3.5-star skating. Oh my goodness. Defensive defenseman, bad puck skills, but who cares? Fantastic defensive stats. With the 14th overall pick, I get an 80 overall defenseman. That just makes more problems for me with a logjam. Maybe Menino is a guy that I could move, but wow. How's that for a surprise? Sheesh. We have back-to-back picks now in the second round, which is nice. But boy, we're done in the first round for all those deals. 71 overall, medium top 6 forwards. A lot of 60 overalls. Yeah, Kaigorodov. I don't know how he slipped through there. The scouts knew that he was NHL ready. Oh my goodness. How's that for a pick? A lot of medium top 9s here. Medium top 6 forward. Like I said, the end of the first round, start of the second round is garbage. Middle second round is always much better for some reason. Yaros Sofilis, 2 years away, similar to Theo Fleury. He could be a solid pick. He's ranked 39 by our scouts. There's Ladislav Zitnik, right-wing sniper. There's also Nicholas Markstrom, Theo Fleury, 3 years away, and Yarrow Booth. Good stats, but a C- league, similar to Michel Goulet. Then there's this guy, 3 bars, Kalle Olsson. Tough pick, but I think I'm definitely going to stay up here. I'm scrolling a bit too far. Two-way forward is never really ideal, but as a centerman you can change him to a playmaker or something. So let's go for him. He has the potential and he has the rank, so let's try it out. From the U.S. development system, Yaro Sofilis, welcome to the Huskies. He is 70 overall. My goodness, we're really hitting the overalls. Boy, so how's that for a pick? 78 passing, 2.5-star shooting, but really nothing special, but just 18 years old, 70 overall, medium top 6. That's pretty solid right out of the second round. So now 41st overall, could go Roy Vesey. 5'9", he's likely an offensive defenseman, to be honest. I don't see many defensive defensemen with that kind of stature. Zitnik, a 6-foot right winger, 5 points in an A+ league. That's not bad. As a sniper as well, 3 years away. I don't mind him. 3 goals, 2 assists for Markstrom. 18 years old. 18 years old. This is a tough selection. I don't think I'm going to go Yarrow Booth. Yarrow Booth, he's a bit lower down in the ranks, but our scouts are between this guy and this guy for 41, 42. This guy's a guaranteed sniper. This guy could be a two-way forward. 6'3", 6 foot. Tough choice here. He has goal scoring, pro release, and offensive instincts, so he might even be a sniper. Maybe he's not a two-way forward. Meanwhile, Zitnik has, I don't know, his shooting, it says 2 bars B. Markstrom, it's 4 bars A. You know what? Let's go for Markstrom. Let's do it. Nicholas Markstrom from HV71 of the Swedish Hockey League. Welcome to Honolulu, my friend. 65 overall, medium top 6 forward. 3-star shooting right out of the gate. But of course, like usual, these guys are projects. You don't know who's gonna make it, but I'm pretty content with those picks as second rounders. We move to the third round now for pick number 4. Low top 4D, Jesper Olofsson, and he's a gem. Sounds like that's going to be my guy. No question, I don't think, unless there's someone really tempting here. No, I don't think so. This guy's 3 bars, medium top 6, Sven Raquel. But yeah, definitely going to go for this defenseman, Jesper Olofsson. 4 years away, no problem. Low top 4D, offensive defenseman, gem. He is 61 overall, low top 4, with the beautiful 74 offensive awareness. Another project in the pipeline. But like we said, we don't really need people right now. We like those projects. We like retooling for the AHL because we are set in the NHL right now. We don't want to create a crazy amount of competition when there's no room. So I could go low top 6 Raymond McLean here, or I could go for either of these 3-bar low elites, or even go for this guaranteed low top 4. I have another pick around down here, so it wouldn't be if I say no to one, I'm saying no to all. Raymond McLean definitely would not be around, I don't think. Goal scoring, pro release, offensive instincts. He could be a sniper. Eriksson, Ustorf, Gary LaRose, 5'8", offensive defenseman. Yeah, I think I'll go for McLean here. Guaranteed low top 6. Raymond McLean from the Victoria Royals. Sniper, yeah, that's what I thought. Low top 6, 63 overall, 2.5-star shooting. What was it? The guy that I just drafted? Was he? I forgot to check. Was he a two-way forward or a sniper in the end? The guy before the offensive defenseman. He was, yeah, he was a sniper. Okay, yeah, he was a sniper. That's what I thought. I'm not even sure if I mentioned that or not, or if I'm just delusional. Next pick is at 97, so there should be some of those guys around. Ustorf just went. He was low top 4. LaRose is still here, low top 4 guaranteed. I don't like that he's a 5'8" offensive defenseman when I just already drafted like a 5'9" offensive defenseman. Mika Rutu, 5'9", small guys. 3 bars, medium top 6. Gilbert Labruyere, 6'4", 2-way forward, 12 goals, 20 assists. Wouldn't be a bad selection, a little bit of a reach. I think I'll go for him. I'd rather take a 3 bars, medium top 6 kind of guy. So Gilbert, bienvenue à l'équipe. He is 60 overall, medium top 9. Yikes, not too great. Yeah, Eriksson was a low top 6. Ustorf was a low top 4. All right, next pick at 103, not too far away. Not too many guys I really want to draft late in this draft, as I saw when I already did my pre-scouting through the potential, so I might trade a package of picks soon. I'm going to start drafting my guys. This guy's 3 bars, medium top 4D. See if there's anybody that I've pinned or anything. Just sorting by potential here. This guy's 2 bars, low franchise, which is impossible, but he's probably low elite. A lot of 2-bar, medium eliters. There are a lot of different possibilities, that's for sure. I'll probably just go for this guy, 3 bars, medium top 4D, Magnus Dansk. He's 5 years away. He's going to be terrible overall, but he does have the potential, so I'm going to go for him. He is, oh my goodness, medium top 6D. That's a killer, man. Now we're just going to be taking my guys, though. End of the 4th round. I know it's still a bit early at 124th overall, but there really isn't anybody here. A lot of bottom 6s, top 6 Ds, AHLs, 7th Ds. This guy's 2-bar medium elite starter, Mika Mikola. It's a pretty solid name, I gotta say. Good stats for an A+ league as well. Should I take another goalie? I've taken a few too many goalies, but after I've traded away back, I'll have Bentley, Almqvist, Guy Supre. What the heck. Mika Mikola. Let's see what overall and potential you have, my friend. He is, oh boy, 48 overall, medium elite. Just add him to the pipeline, boys. More trade bait, most likely. Pick 155 now. We're just going by potential and position. 2-bar medium elite goalie. I'm not going to go for any more of those. Pretty solid stats. Oh, but an E-rated competition, so forget that. 2 bars medium elite. Where would my next pick after this one be? I don't want to miss out on the guy who's 2 bars low franchise, who's likely low elite or something. I only have 2 more picks. Alright, so with my 2 picks, I will take the low franchise guy, probably with my next one, or with my, I don't know, there's still some 3-bar low elite guys, right? Okay, I'll go ahead and take the 3-bar low elite guy and the 2-bar low franchise guy. Let's do that. Jackson Pierce, welcome to Honolulu, my friend. Let's see what your potential is. Likely low elite, I would think, and he is. Low elite, 51 overall. Terrible stats, a big project, but has the low elite potential. Pick number 186 now, the last pick of this draft for us. Go ahead and take the guy who is 3 bars low elite, since he has the highest chance of being something for us. He is from the Sarnia Sting of the OHL, Jackson Walters. Welcome to the team. And I know you can go and check on the right stick to see potential, but I want to see his overall as well. Low top 4D, 55 overall. Fantastic. So that's the end of the draft, boys. 2032 draft comes to a close. A pretty solid one. Marchand and Kaigorodov are very solid picks. Sofilis and Markstrom were good 2nd round picks. And it was a pretty well-rounded draft overall. A couple one top 9, one top 6 D, which was a bit of a bust, but still not the end of the world. Now at the re-sign phase, got to re-sign the coaches and the scouts, so give me a moment. Alright, showtime, boys. Let's figure out all this money. Who's getting re-signed, who's getting qualified. Let's jump into it. First, UFAs. Kazevnikov does not want to re-sign. I would take him back in a heartbeat. 3.2 million is a bit much, not for his quality, but just for my wallet. So he's likely to leave. I love Kazevnikov, but that's probably going to be the likely case. Muzzin's gone. I'm going to resign all of these guys except for Calvert, I believe. Who's this? Wayne Calvert, 3rd round pick. Really? He fell off the face of the earth. Tough, terrible stats as well in the Liga. Yeah, not great stats. Wayne Bello, what happened to you? Sniper, 2-star shooting, gone. So that's going to be that. RFAs qualify everybody here, most likely. I think I'll let Suglobov and Zayuzin go. They were just free agent signings. Ragnarsson, I'll probably re-sign him. All those guys unsigned. Marchand, Kaigorodov, and Quick. I'm going to sign all 3 of these guys, I believe. They're all great, as well as Guy Supre, the goaltender. And then in the main roster, so Bentley's going to be qualified. Well, both goalies will be qualified. Dostal I'm going to have to let go, unfortunately. I love Dostal, but no room for him. Henderson also going to be let go. So likely going to be starter, backup, and then starter Guy Supre, and the backup, I'm not sure who it's going to be. It's going to depend on growth as well, like I said. So I'm going to try and sign Bentley ASAP, but Beck, we'll see what happens with him, and Almqvist for growth. Because Beck is the same age as Almqvist, and Almqvist is 4 overall lower. But if Beck grows to an 86 and Bentley's at an 89, and they're both wanting, let's see, Bentley wants 7.1, and Beck wants, oh my goodness, 1 year 0.925? I could do 2 years. I could do 2 years, 1.3 million. He doesn't want it right now, though, so I'll have to do it during the free agents period. But okay, let me take care of all that, and I'll be back in a second. Also, just to note that Jalen Rabbit here, look at this season he just had in the OHL. 123 points with 83 assists, 40 goals. So hopefully he can do something for us down in San Diego. Advancing a day now. I'm not interested in joining the... Okay, bye Mario Boudreau. And goodbye Vitaly Varlamov, my AHL goalie coach who last year was happy to do the job, but now because he thinks he's somewhat better, he's too good for the job. Have fun in the unemployment line. Rabbit, Nylander, Odell, Brathwaite, Yzerman are all on board. Nice little glitch here. So let's back out. All right, 8.825 million. Kozevnikov, I'd love to just send him an offer, but I know it's going to cost like 3.6 or so to get him. That would be a good contract even then for an 85 overall, but it's just there's just no room or money to make it happen. So I'm unfortunately going to have to not sign him. Going to the goalies here, Saul Bentley, he doesn't want the extension, so I'm not even going to bother giving him an offer. So I'm not qualify those guys. Guy Supre, the more I think about it, I need to really wait and see his growth, because if I sign him now and he stays at a 78, maybe he's just like an AHL starter or backup. But if he could make the NHL, it would be worth it to sign him. But if he's going to stay at a 78, I'd rather use another year of his unsigned status and then sign him when he's really good or even just much better and get an extra year of an entry-level deal. So I'm going to wait on him. I'm going to go qualify my RFAs for the moment. That's all done. Accidentally, I qualified Suglobov. I did not want to, but I guess we'll deal with that later on. All my goalies are qualified. I think that's everybody good to go, just the unsigned players. So Machin, going to go ahead and give him his entry-level deal, as well as Kaigorodov, because he is from Russia, so he can play in the the AHL if he has to. And Lane Quick, I'm going to go ahead and sign him so that he can play in San Diego as well. The final pick of the 2031 draft. 217th overall. So advance one more day and then we can move into free agency. All the scouts are signing on with big smiles. Kaigorodov, Marchand, Quick are all on board. All the RFAs are qualified. Let's rock and roll. All right, so here we go. Free agency. We have 9.550 with the salary cap increase. $9.550 million going just to UFAs and sorting by overall. Marco Kerman's going to make a lot of money. Shane Wright is out here. The best deal is probably somebody like Kirby Doc or what was his name? Will Hutchings? Weston Hutchings, 4th overall pick from the Blues. Lucas Raymond, a lot of old boys. Kiefer Bellows, 34 years old, but none of that really matters because that's not what we're looking at. We are going to goalies. Any big goalies in the UFAs? Ian Belfour wants $7 million. Ilya Samsonov's here at the age of 35, former Husky legend. Looking at RFAs, just at our goalies. Bentley and Beck are the two boys right here, of course. So Saul Bentley, I'm going to offer him right away so that he doesn't get offer sheeted for 8 years, $13 million or something. 2 years would be great. I'm going to try to 85% it because that usually works in free agency. So that would be 6.247. I don't think I'm going to get that low, but if I could get 2 years, 6.5, that would be a pretty, 6.450. I think that would be a pretty reasonable contract for a guy who's 87, has a Stanley Cup, but has only really like a season and a half under his belt. So 2 years at 6.45 seems reasonable to me. And then for Steven Beck, if I could get him for 2 years at 1.150, I think that would be also very good. I'd have two great goalies. I could trade Almqvist, and then I could make Supra my starter in San Diego. So I think that would be pretty solid right there. Look at Pasi Piorla, $5.4 million he wants, just because he's 3 years older than Steven Beck. So RFAs, all skaters. I don't think we have anybody else who I really want to sign because the rest are just going to get eventually given a contract. Bennington and Morozov are maybe the only guys. Those are my fourth liners. I could use the fourth liners because I have no one on my fourth line. I know I'll probably promote some people from the AHL. Morozov doesn't want much. Bennington doesn't want much either. Yeah, that means they can get qualified for cheap, which is what I don't want to happen. Because looking at centers, I'd like to promote Pilstrom to my fourth line center. Then on the wing, I don't really have anybody on the wing at all. That's the issue. Marchand's going to make the NHL. Maybe he can be my third or second line winger, but I still need the fourth line left and right wing, which would last season was Bennington and Morozov. And to be honest, it's cheap contracts. If I went to free agency for an 81 overall, it would be someone who is even more expensive. So I will offer them contracts. I think it makes sense. I will wait just a couple days to make sure those goalies sign their contracts, and then I'll see how much money I have left over. And then I'm going to go after, once I know my roster, I can go after an AHL coach once the season comes around. It should be a fairly quick off-season here. Steven Beck rejects the offer. No problem, I understand. Let me try again. That was a pretty big low ball. 85% doesn't always work, but maybe something closer to 90% usually works in free agency. Oh, sorry, that was Beck who rejected the offer. Bentley I'm still waiting on. That was a pretty solid offer, though, I thought. Now he wants 2 years, 1.5. Okay, buddy. I'll give you 1 year, 2 years, 1.275. Still got to trade Barker later in this offseason. Bentley rejects the contract as well. Okay. A lot of people have gotten signed, actually, in the last few days. All the big boys have their huge contracts. So hopefully the league doesn't have a lot of money left and won't be trying to offer sheet my players. I said 2 years, 6.4 something, right? So let me try 2 years, 6.650. For Saul Bentley. A first and a fourth for Rubtsov and a third. You are dreaming, Boston. No chance. Keep on advancing. Beck rejects the offer again. I thought that was a pretty fair deal, to be honest. Let's try it again. 2 years. Now he wants 2 years, 1.475. Here you go. 2 years, 1.325. It's going to be pretty close. I'll probably only be able to sign one of Binnington and Morozov. I don't think I'll be able to get both of them. Bentley rejects as well. Really, that's tough. I guess as time goes on, their demands should be dropping a little bit, but I think that was a pretty fair deal as well. Now he wants 2 years, 7.125. So this time if I offer him 2 years at 6.675, that is more likely to go through. It's only $25,000 more, but his demand has dropped. Oh, I just skipped over it. I think that was Bentley who just signed on. Oh, Suglobov here, who I didn't even want in the first place. So Suglobov signs on. That's great. Also, now I can give extensions to players. Quinn Hughes currently making 7.3. To extend, he wants 13.2. So guaranteed this is his last season with us. I can't offer him 18 million. Are you serious? No chance he's going to be wanting 13 million come midway through the season or even the beginning of next season. But very likely that this is our last season with Quinn Hughes, so either we let him go or he'll be moved after the deadline. Thank you, Steven Beck. He is on board. Let's see what Saul Bentley has to say. 1 more day it should be. 1 more day. All right. Thank you, Saul. So now going to contracts to look at my fourth liners. Hopefully Pilstrom can be my fourth line center. I don't need to go and sign anybody. I could just go straight to my RFAs here. Binnington and Morozov are the two boys. Binnington, 2 years, 1.9. I could give him 1 year, 1.4. That wouldn't be bad. And then for Morozov, who's same age, same overall, 3 years, 1.7 he wants, but for 1 year is at 1.475. Let me try 1 year. I'd have to give them each like 1.2 each, and that would be pushing it. Let me try the 1 year, 1.250 for Morozov. And then for Binnington, could I offer him the same thing for 1 year? It's pushing it. He could accept it. Let's try the 1 year, 1.250. Come on, boys. Let's get a Stanley Cup. Just a 1 year contract. You stay with me, I can almost guarantee you a great, fantastic season. You're a fourth liner, but you'll be on a winning team. Let's go, boys. Sign on. Morozov's on board, and Binnington is as well. Perfect. So we are definitely pushing the money a little bit. We still have 1.9. I guess it moves some things around. 1.9 million still in our cap. In the free agents here, no one's super special. Looking at people by potential. By UFAs. I don't know if there's really anybody great. 24-year-olds who have low top six. I think we should be fine in the AHL. We'll figure out once we get there. We'll see the growth. Like I said, the cap, to be honest, I'm buzzing about the cap, but I keep forgetting that Barker is going to be traded, which frees up $4 million. And let's get to next season, and then we can decide what our moves will be. Boyd signs his RFA deal. Pilstrom signs his RFA deal. Savatsky signs. Radulov signs. As we're moving closer to the beginning of the 2032-2033 season. All right, here we are. Let me figure out who is making the lineup, who's not, make all the scratches and roster moves, and then we'll take a look at the lines. All right, so Guy Supre is currently 80 overall at 20 years of age. He's listed as a backup goalie. I'd like to make him my backup goalie, actually, but I think he's going to have to just currently be the San Diego starter. So he's on board right away. Almqvist is 22 years old, 81 overall. Meanwhile, Beck is 84 overall, 23 years old, signed at the $1.3 million for the next couple of years. Meanwhile, Almqvist will need a new contract. He's a second-round pick from 2028. I'm sure he'll be a great goalie, but I think I'm going to trade Almqvist, make Supre my starter in the AHL, and then roll with Bentley and Beck in the NHL. Now, my biggest issue is with the defense. If we go over to check out the lines here, on defense, Lindback Anderson +5 as always, but then Menino and Hughes, that's good. But now we come to the third pair, Isaac Sutter and Oleg Kaigorodov. Gives it a +1 with the offensive defenseman in Sutter and the defensive defenseman in Kaigorodov. Gives it a +1. But then where does Popovich go? 21 years old, 83 overall, medium top 4, still has 2 years on an entry-level deal. Well, Popovich is a great defenseman. I just don't know where does he fit. Do I trade Quinn Hughes right now, since I know that he's not going to be here past next season and he doesn't even really fit the line, the second pair very well? If I were to trade Hughes and then put Kaigorodov with Menino, the two-way D with the defensive D, it's still a 0, but it's a better fit. It's a better line fit, and it's better long-term because Hughes won't be here. So, well, not better long-term, but it makes more sense long-term, I suppose. So Popovich could replace Hughes, and I could trade Hughes for something big. What would I even trade him for? Because Hughes has full trade bar value. The lineup looks like this for the forwards. +5 on the first line. I could put Pitton on the third line and bring Marchand to the second line, which makes it a +5 on the third line. We saw how good the +5 on the third line was last year with Pitton score. All these guys were third liners. Pitton 80 points on the third line. Cole Perfetti had 70-something points, 79 points on the third line. Quinn Shannon had 71 points, 39 goals on the third line. So do I keep it the +5 or do I make it +1, +3? Marchand plays on the third line. Not sure. Morozov's an 82. Suglobov would not be my fourth line center. That's the only thing that I really need to go out and get for myself, a better fourth line center. He's actually a decent line fit. He had 1-star physical for 6'4", which doesn't make sense. He has 3-star defense, 76 faceoffs, 5-star puck skills as a playmaker, which is nice, but I think I'd rather get a better fourth line center. As we said for goalies, Bentley and Beck. And yeah, Popovich, that's the only issue. For the AHL, Barker, I'm looking to trade Carson Barker. So if I were to trade Carson Barker and Quinn Hughes, I could get anything in the NHL pretty much. And even if I traded them separately, I would still get a good boatload of stuff. I could get a very good fourth line center. I could get, I don't even know what else I want. My core is amazing. I could get maybe a Quinn Hughes replacement. If I don't want to bring Popovich, maybe I could trade, I don't know, Menino's a really good defensive defenseman. I know he's nothing flashy, but he's a +150 in his career. Last 3 seasons, +45, 41, 25. He's a very good stay-at-home 6'5" defenseman. So that's kind of my issue. I'm in a bit of a pickle right now. So in what I thought would be the end of the offseason where I make these trades, I don't think I'm going to be able to make any trades until I hear from all of you. So let me just recap what our situation is so that I can hear from you. A bit of a shorter offseason this year. We have $3.2 million of cap space. If I were to go out and trade Carson Barker, that would add 4.42 through 3.22. That gives us $7.64 million. Then if I were to trade Quinn Hughes as well, which adds another 7.3, where's Quinn Hughes? That makes us $14.94 million. So that's where we'd have about $15 million of cap space. Now I could just go and get a fourth line center and draft picks and then keep that cap space, because long term I need to go out and extend Skylar Pelech, which is going to cost me $13 million. I need to extend Mats Lindback, which is going to cost me another $9 million. So let's say they don't want the extensions. So I have 14.94 minus the 9.5 that Lindback will cost, minus the $13 million that Pelech would cost. I'm at -$7.5 million. So that's quite the issue right there. long term. That's 7.5. Even if I get another 3, well, not 3, I get this is another 2.5 million cleared up if I got these fourth liners moved. So that's gonna be an issue long term. It wouldn't be bad to have some flexibility with the cap, which would come from moving guys like Hughes and Barker. So yeah, it's that's what we're trying to figure out right now. It's gonna be one more. It's gonna be a last year of our current kind of window here. Skylar Pelech, if he doesn't want to resign, he's not going to resign. So that could be a problem for us moving into the future of this franchise. But we do have good people to replace him: Shannon, Pitton, Pittis. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but it would be a big change. So we're definitely trading Barker. Now we just need to figure out, do we trade Quinn Hughes now or later, as well as any other moves that we might make. So looking at the trade value of our team, this is what we got. Marchand up here with lots of trade value. Cole Perfetti's trade value has exploded after going, it was Pitts a few years ago. Pitton has great trade value. That's Barker's trade value right there. Kaigorodov already in the NHL. Yeah, we have a lot of good prospects. Lane Quick here. A lot of people have not crazy amounts of trade value, but very decent amount. Pilstrom hasn't grown from a 77, so he can't be promoted because he's not good enough. We said Almquist we want to trade as well. So Almquist, that's a bunch of trade value right there as well. Guy Supre is our future starter, but Almquist would probably have to be moved because to make room for him. Or if you have another suggestion, you could let me know. We already have a first, second from Dallas, 2 thirds, and then down the road we have a first, second, third next year, first, second, third the year after that. So our picks aren't in a bad place if we were to make moves. We just need to figure out what would those moves be for, because not only do we want good players, we want people on good contracts. So let me quickly go through the trade blocks, then we'll look at the player search for the best inexpensive players, and then I'll have to leave it up to you guys to see what you like. So if you see anything, pause the screen. If you see someone with trade value or with a good contract, just pause it and let me know. I'm keeping an eye out as well. Timothy Liljegren's a bit expensive. Cal Foot, no, that wouldn't really work. Yeah, Jamie Drysdale never grew. Lots of draft picks and prospects. Georgiev, Dvorak, Nick Suzuki, Elias Anderson. They're very expensive. They're one-year contracts, but they're very expensive contracts. More first-round picks, more prospects. Quinton Byfield's here, 4 years at 8.7. Quinton Byfield didn't work out for the Anaheim franchise mode. Has quite a bit of value. Sillinger as well, not bad. Center playmaker, Cole Sillinger. Okay, he's on the block there. Draft picks and prospects. Sean Dursey for Rebecca Carlson, Alex Barkov. All right, so those are the trade blocks. Now if I go to just the player search, and I want to see who are the best players in NHL who are like making $4 million or less for the next at least 2 seasons. Let's go $5 million or less, 2-year contract minimum. And we'll say we're looking just forwards first, then we'll look at defense after, with a minimum of 84 overall. Max of $5 million, 2-year minimum on the contract, 11 players. So these are some of the best players in the league who are making money. Not too much money, not too long-term either. So 2 years, a lot of guys who are entry-level deals. Look at Wong and Perfetti and Pitton, of course, all players that we have. Kazevnikov signed for 2 years, 3.5 with the Boston Bruins. Okay, so this guy McCallum is here, Landon McCallum, a center playmaker, could be put on the wing. Dimitrius Dubinsky, a center playmaker. Elliot Hoffman, a power forward. That's an interesting fit. He seems to fit the top 6 forwards. Maybe Elliot Hoffman is someone that we go after. 114 points in 69 games in the WHL. Sharov, 2 years at $4 million, 2-way forward. It's a bit expensive when we go into the high 4 millions down here, but yeah, not too many options to be honest. Hoffman would probably be someone that I'd want to go after, but I don't even know where he would fit in the lineup. So I need to hear your thoughts, not only on who to go after, but what position to go after, man. Now I got to go to defense, reset all the trade parameter, the player search parameters. Max of $5 million, minimum of 2 years on the contract, and an overall of at least 84. Only one result. Petrie on the Vancouver Canucks, making 2 more years on entry-level deal. Pedro Petrie, 5th overall pick in 2030, 2-way defender, 86 overall. Very good stats. Last year put up 20 points, -5. Utica had good stats. So yeah, not a ton of options when it comes to when we're looking at cheap options. I could go for a bit more expensive. I don't think it's going to really change much if I went from 5 million to 6 million. 5 results. Now we get Letty, Afinogenov. Yeah, that's a bit expensive. 5.8. I don't need to be spending money like that. Perhaps one permutation would be sending Kygorgov down to the AHL just for the beginning of the season, trading Hughes at the deadline, and having Popovich here with Sutter. Then when Hughes gets traded at the deadline, Popovich can move up to the second pair with Menino, and Kygorgov can come up and play with Sutter. The reason I keep Sutter up is because he has the higher potential, and I really want him to grow. My goodness, 4.5-star puck skills, 5 stars shooting. He could really be something good. As well, I just realized that Guy Supre, him getting signed, he's 20 years old, so I thought that meant that he'd be able to play in the AHL. Nope, he's still in the juniors. So with Guy Supre playing in the juniors, that means Almqvist at 81 would be my starter in San Diego, but do I want an 81 overall guy being my starter? I don't know. Maybe I trade back and Supre gets called up to be my backup in the NHL. I hate that I signed him and that he's going to stay in the juniors. It wastes a year on the entry-level deal. Makes 0 sense how he's 20 years old. You could just swing a deal with the team in juniors or something in real life. He wouldn't have to play in the juniors being 20 years old. There's so many players who come from the juniors who are 20 and play in the American Hockey League, so makes no sense. But that defense permutation is one possible example. So boys, I'm going to just go ahead and stop it right there. I need to take a pause. I'm not even going to go through the preseason, nothing. I need to hear your thoughts on all of that. We're at a difficult crossroads here going into the 2032-2033 season. Staying competitive, but being realistic that these contracts are going to run out. We need to sign players, and we may need to move guys on expiring deals, and those at which we have an abundance for the position. So boys, thank you so much for watching. I'm really looking forward to what your thoughts are because I am really scratching my head trying to figure out what we're going to do. Please let me know any and all suggestions. I take them all into consideration. As always, this is your team as much as it is mine, all my assistant GMs. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Putting out lots of NHL, FIFA, and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated content. But of course, the staple on this channel, the NHL franchise mode. Moving into the end of this series, the last maybe couple seasons, so it's imperative that we stay really good but also look towards the future when we want to simulate to the year 2044. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.